Are there really any good, cheap whiskeys out there? I think there are. If you want to know what one of them is, stick around. Hey, welcome back to the Speakeasy. Today, I'm going to take a look at one of the cheapest whiskeys. I don't know if cheap's the right word. Least expensive that I've come across. And the only reason I came across it is because a friend of mine, Danny, went to the liquor store, he said, and I don't know, they had some for sale. Maybe a distributor was there or whatever. They were selling these things for like extremely low amount per bottle, which made, if you bought it by the case, it was really cheap. I think he said he bought 3 cases of these huge, 1 liter bottles of Potter's Crown, 1.75 liter bottles of Potter's Crown. Now, this is a Canadian whiskey. This is a rare blend of Canadian whiskey, distilled and blended in Canada. It's 80 proof, imported and bottled by Potter's Brands out of California. That's all it says. It doesn't say anything else. Now, I am a fan of Canadian whiskeys. I think he was getting these for like, I don't know, $17 a bottle, and that is pretty cheap. It's really cheap for 1.75 liters of it. So whenever he showed up with this at one of our recent gatherings, he was handing out the bottles, and he asked us what we thought of it, so we tried it, and surprisingly, the majority of us liked it. I don't know that there was anybody that didn't like it, but it is, again, I've always been a fan of Canadian whiskeys. They just have most of them, if not all of them, are blended. They have a great history of blending whiskeys that match my flavor profile. If you look at Canadian Mist, or I think I got another one back here. Anyhow, Canadian something. Oh, and then there's 40 Creek. 40 Creek is fantastic. I like it. One of their higher tier ones. Now, the smell on this has a little bit of a, it's a little hot, surprisingly. Again, this is only way too small. I can't read it. 80 proof. So lower, which obviously the lower proof makes it a little easier to drink, in my opinion. I don't think it's got any coloring added. It doesn't say that it does on the bottle that I'm aware. It does not have a great smell. Sort of like a, it's got a lot of char smell to me. And almost a little ethanol. I don't know. The alcohol that you don't want to smell, it's got a little bit of that along with the char smell. But flavor-wise, it's actually very smooth. It's not hot in the mouth, not hot going down. I don't know if I can tell you what the flavors are, but it's just smooth. You don't really need it on the rocks. You could drink it. I could drink it like this. It's that good of a taste. But there's nothing in particular that jumps out at me as far as flavor-wise. Got, the obvious ones, the caramel, the vanilla, the oakiness, that same old, stuff that whiskey and bourbons, the flavors they put out, that's what I almost always taste. This one is just so light on the flavors, it almost doesn't have any flavor, which is very, very weird, because again, I don't think this has flavoring or coloring added. It just says it's a rare blend of Canadian whiskey. It doesn't tell you how much of anything. It says aged a minimum of 36 months. So this is each of the whiskeys that they blended it with, aged 3 years. Doesn't say anything else. That's it. But this would be something, if you find it in your area, buy a small bottle of it. I think you'll like it. Especially if you're not into the bourbon scene, not in the whiskey scene, if you're just trying to get in. Again, Canadians have a fantastic record of blending whiskeys. If you know why and you're in Canada, let me know in the comments below. But yeah, this is, again, very, very light flavored, doesn't burn in the mouth, doesn't burn going down. It's just not that pleasant to smell. I don't know why. It's again, it just almost like a maybe some burnt brown sugar. It's just got a char smell to me for some reason. But again, for the price, especially, you know, I wouldn't recommend you go buy the biggest bottle of this you can find until you try it. If you can get this bottle for under $20, imagine what you can get a little 16-ounce flask for, or whatever those little pocket bottles are called. You probably get one for $5-6, who knows. But I would recommend it if you want to try to get into the bourbon and whiskey scene. This is something that you're not going to be disappointed in, I don't think, because if you're not used to drinking high-proof whiskeys, great, fantastic entry-level whiskey for you to try. Hey, thanks for watching this quick video. Just wanted to get this out there. My buddy's been giving me a hard time, Danny, about, hey, what about that whiskey I gave you? I haven't seen that review. Here it is, man. Doesn't smell good, but it tastes great. And less filling tastes great, right? No, it's a beer. Miller Lite. It ain't Miller Lite, but it is very light whiskey and is definitely something that, you know, if my buddy likes this as opposed to Johnny Walker Red, which is his normal, or blue, or even the higher priced ones, guess what, Danny? This is what you get next time you visit. I'm not giving you the high price stuff. Hey, thanks for watching. Please give me a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you next time here in the Speakeasy.